morning, everybody. We are getting ready to do our last little setup. We're going to start producing our own hash. We're going to make it in-house, make us even more profits, be able to have more of it on hand when we go to sell, and we'll just camp out in the Flats Lagoon for a while we wait for the shops to restock. I am going to try and see if I can find some other places that'll be good for buying it, but I think that's about the only place where you get that kind of payoff. Yesterday we did acquire some animals. While we will eventually be moving away from these, they were a huge help in being able to move items around, get the hemp brought back that we needed so that we can start that production. They also enabled us to carry a ton of hash and a ton of copper, be able to really crank up the profits, get all the money we needed. We still ended up not able to get all the armor we needed just because the shop didn't have it, but we'll be running beep up to the Armor King not before too long, once we think we have enough money. We're already set on crossbows. We're looking at 3 more pairs of pants, 4 more shirts, 4 more armor pieces, and then 8 helmets in total. That's what we're missing for armor. We've got a lot of ammunition starting to stack up, which is great. We've got 2 separate people working on ammo. We're building up some more electrical components. We burned through those, increasing our power output, so we're running a little short on them. We're going to need them for the actual building where we're building out our hydroponic hash, as well as getting started with producing the hash. So let's see what kind of buildings we're going to need. Hydroponic hemp farm. And we're not going to go, we're not going to go as crazy as we did with the food. We're not going to have as many workers to take care of this. Just do 5. And then this will allow us to also make our own fabrics with an auto loom. And we'll kind of do that just on demand. We're not going to go too crazy with that. But this will in general give us the sandals we need for a few people without having to go and hunt them down. Food. Okay, so this is a hemp processor, and that turns it into hash. I don't know how many of these we're going to need. Let's not go crazy here, because it's going to take copper alloy and electronics. Farming, hydroponic, hemp. Yep, this is all going to take a lot of stuff. So let's not go crazy. Let's start there. The power consumption shouldn't actually be a problem. It's more going to be the electrical components that's going to hold us back here. Speed things up. Our base is pretty secure. One of the things we did manage to do was get the base really ready for being attacked. Oh, that's not quite what I wanted to do. Trade. Put him back on engineering. Installing these turrets on the side, we're only really making use of 6 of them, but just 3 on each side has pretty much stopped anyone from getting through the gate, other than the people that just phase through. This has allowed us to really be able to defend against anything that happens. The Holy Nation has started showing up for Prayer Day, which was weird. Good morning, Fennec. I just saw that. So, like I said, we're just getting started. The Holy Nation has started showing up, which is weird. I didn't think about it. The area we based in is technically the border zone. So even though we're very close to a Shek city, we're in kind of the no man's land, and the Holy Nation still tries to lay claim over this. So they start showing up for Prayer Day, and luckily they aren't asking questions about the Sheks that are guarding the walls. We just have casual go out there and say a goofy little prayer with them, and we haven't had any trouble yet, so that's been good. Oh, beep. No. Finish building that one. Did you really burn through all the hemp? Okay, we got one of them fully built. My goodness. I was worried we didn't build any of them all the way up. But as we produce more electrical components, we're going to be able to get those built up. That's just going to take some time catching up on those. Jaglonger's keeping us supplied with copper for it. We could double up here and make another electronics bench. I just don't think that's necessary. It's just a little more time. As that gets built out, though, we're going to need someone to work it. Who do I want to work that? We're eventually going to have almost everyone working some kind of job, but we do need somebody doing engineering. We'll have Hot Longs get started on the hemp. And we're not going to build any storage here or even set up a queue for this. Hopefully she doesn't try to put it straight into the hemp processor. So the auto loom setup, that's going to be nice. I'm going to have Beep go and see if we can purchase hemp at Squin, because I think we can. I think as long as you don't make it into actual drugs, they take a more reasonable approach to it. Even though they don't want you selling drugs in their city, they're okay with you making some clothing out of it. They just don't want the drugs. I can, but it's only one. The nice thing, though, we do have two separate hemp farms almost completely set up. So this will finish setting up that one that was just short one hemp. One more mod to speed up leveling. What are you wanting to level faster, Xander? I mean, if you take just a casual look over Frankie Was Here's channel, there isn't a stat you can't level to 100 in a single sitting pretty easily. The only one that's kind of difficult, I think, is strength. But really, it's just that there's a trick to it most of the time, and a lot of the best leveling you can do is automating it and just not focusing on it on whatever character you're using. I think that the leveling process can take quite a while, but it hasn't been an issue. We don't really worry about grinding things. I took these guys, fully equipped them in their armor, and just threw them at beak things and bandits. We're talking fresh cafeteria scrubs. They were just making food. They'd never done fighting in their life, and they rolled those beak things over like it was their job. A lot of it's just about equipment. Understanding how to position a little better, especially without having the extra attack slots too. But no, normally I would have a lot more mods. I play with tons of mods. I just gave my son my entire mod list, and it took me probably 10-15 minutes to go through and get it. I definitely like to heavily mod Kenshi. I don't usually include the leveling mods or the training mods because that's kind of where I like the difficulty of not being able to just fight everything and beat it. I like having to fight things with lower stats until I can get up to that level. But it really just, that's the best thing about the mods, is it's a solo game, so you can kind of play it however you want. But we've been just fighting like this without any real issues. The only reason we're doing a playthrough like this, I kind of just started streaming Kenshi because it's a game I can't really get tired of. This is probably my 100th playthrough that's gotten to the point of building a base. I think a lot of people don't even get to that point because it can be tedious. There's a lot of things that will bug out. Some of your power won't work. There's a lot of things that can go into it. Like, I started this base not realizing the stone mine was going to be clear over here. There isn't a drop of stone in the rest of the area. But normally, this is just to show that without mods, there's still a lot of ways to just manhandle the game without even cheesing it, you know. I would say crossbows are maybe borderline cheese, but they're being used as intended, so it's not that bad. So we've taken, for instance, Zil. Zim is our newest recruit, as far as out of the people that were doing cafeteria work, just making food. He's already got a melee attack of 16, defense 25, crossbows 25, and his precision shooting, I'm never going to not struggle to say that, is at 45. Because they're just pinging toothpick shots off of each other, doing absolutely no damage. And then that levels that ability so they stop wasting ammo shooting each other. I actually want that backpack empty. And they're coming along just fine. You know, the fact that we're able to go, we can go raid Beak Thing nests with this group right now. Kill them, take their meat, take their eggs. The only real risk is some random Beak Things coming up behind us and attacking our animals. Right now we're just trying to let Hot Longs get, God, what a name, get these growing so we can finish filling out the plots, and then we're going to make our own hash. We were doing hash runs to build up some more money, and we may go do that again, but I wanted to see if we could just get it built here and have a more consistent way to get that money. Going through the swamps is not only slow, but it's way more danger than necessary. If we just curve around the border zone and then down the edge here through the shim area right in the middle between where the water dunes are and all of that, never want to encounter a Beak Thing again. So yeah, Beak Things are really scary in the beginning. There's a couple things that you need to understand about how they work that makes it way less scary. One, you can always escape them. You can pretty much always escape them. I can go demonstrate that actually in 2 seconds because Beak is basically a superhero. I'll just go find a Beak Thing for you and show you. They're building up things on the base anyway. The base will be safe. We'll go check out this hive village. It's probably the closest way to find Beak Things. And we've got Prayer Day coming, okay. So Beep's a pretty well equipped character, and he's way too fast for the Beak Things, but at the start of the game you're not going to be able to do that. But there are a couple things you can do to escape them that aren't cheating, there's no cheese to it. One of the biggest things is that they're practically blind, and especially if you move around at night, they're not even going to notice you if you stealth. What do you mean the speed is about? Right, so the reason you can... the Beak Things, you can't outrun them. I mean, right, you can't outrun them in that sense, but there's a way to escape them because of how they fight. It's not about being able to just flat out outrun them. Beep's able to outrun them because he's got the augmetics. So when he's running at 51 miles an hour. It would take an Elder Beak thing to catch Beep. But a normal squad, like you said, yeah, they're not going to be fast enough to just flat out outrun them. This is the hardest time I've ever had finding a Beak thing in vain. But there's a way to do it. There is a trick to just escaping them. It can be a bit of a hassle, but there's 2 ways to do it. And just being able to run away from them when you're not ready is the best thing. Because you're going to need decent stats to deal with them, and most importantly, in my opinion, decent armor. Because they're going to hit you. And they do so much damage. I'm sitting here telling y'all go find a beak thing right quick, and there's none to be had. We've killed them all, I guess. But basically, just to try and explain it while I desperately look for one. How am I in the Sten Desert? We should be... Oh, okay, I'm too far south now. And east. If you go to attack a beak thing, they're going to do this big, goofy, giraffe-necked swinging animation. And that's your chance to run away. If you get injured, if your legs get injured, you're toast. There's nothing you can do. But as soon as you know the beak things are on your trail and they're trying to eat you, you have to react and try to get away. Let's see if we can... So the most dangerous thing to a squad, even a well-equipped squad... What is that job that Beep has? Splint rigging? Okay, so splint rigging is when you're heavily damaged and you have normal fleshy body parts, not robot parts, you can bandage up the leg. Let's say your leg is at like 10 or -5. You're really injured on a leg. You can splint it, and that will allow them to walk somewhat normally and a little bit faster pace. So that job is set. You have to, it's tricky to set up because you have to have someone who is injured enough to need splint rigging. And you need a splint kit, which is this right here. You'll need, I think you need the larger one, shaped like this, to be able to splint a leg. But you can also splint their arms so they're able to carry people. So you have to have someone who is injured that hard, hold shift, right-click the character and choose splint injuries. So that's what that job is. Now here are the beak things I was talking about. Now Beep's speed makes it good for finding them, so I can show this quickly. But when we come down here, you'll see the beak things, their athletics are going to have them running at 31 miles an hour max, right? Beep, he's able to go 51. They're never going to catch him normally. But the real trick to these is that when they go to attack, that's when you can move. Even if I set Beep to moving slowly, so now we're moving slower than them. They can catch us. We stop, we actually try to attack them, and that's when they'll attack. If you just keep running, they'll run till they get ahead of you. Let's see if we can get them to do it. So they just keep running and running. They'll never stop to attack you until they're actually far ahead enough to land the hit. But if you stop and try to attack them, they'll pause, do their little goofy giraffe attack animation, and that's when you can move. And it can be tedious to do it manually like that, but the other option you have is to just run away in a direction, hold down the right mouse button. Beep's still too fast. Hold down your right mouse button and press R. Every time you press R, they'll think you're about to stop and attack them, and they'll at least stop to pause and look at you. They'll stop running ahead of you, and they'll stop cutting you off. This way you can just safely evade beak things even when you're slow. You have to be fast enough, though, that once they go to attack you, you can't have your legs injured. You can have a fresh, brand new character, but you can't have your legs be injured, and you'll be able to run away from them. So that's how you can escape them. But the most important thing to know about beak things is that the way the game's normally set up with no mods, when they attack you, let's say I had all of my squad here, every other person standing next to Beep is going to also get hit, and they physically can't stop it. If the Beep thing targets Beep with an attack, everyone around him gets hit no matter what. So the biggest thing you want to do when fighting beak things, if you're really going to take a fight with a group of beak things, is to spread out. You want to spread out as much as you can. The other thing that works great against them is crossbows, because you can spread out and then have all 15 of your guys shoot at one beak thing. They'll ignore the one that's attacking them as much as they can and just shoot that one beak thing until it's dead. You want to cut down their numbers until there's only 1 or 2 left, and that's what'll keep you alive. Is there a nest around here? No, it's just wandering beak things. But you also have the option of purchasing new legs in the event that someone loses their legs, or taking the legs off on purpose. And when you combine that with a decent enough strength score so you're not encumbered and enough practice running around, Beep can just embrace the Speed Force and run away. And there isn't anything they can do. They can't keep up at all. He's just gone. So yeah, beak things can be pretty scary, but they're not the end of the world if you're trained, and you can escape them. It can just be a little tedious. You usually want to run to the very nearest building you can get into to get away from them. But the other cool thing is I'm not doing anything special. This is a fairly long playthrough. We're on 145, but so this is where micromanaging come. I'm new to this. Yeah, so you can just separate your crossbow guys and tanks, but I think a lot of people really overestimate how badly the heavy armor affects your crossbows. Oh, these guys want to sell me stuff. Oh, that is convenient. We're trying to build up a hemp farm. Thank you. You don't have to micro a whole lot. So if you'd have caught it yesterday, and it's uploaded, yesterday's stream's uploaded on YouTube if you want to peek at it, but we went through and fought blood spiders, beak things, bandits, all with complete noobs in the squad. And we took a beating on the first one till I thought about it for a second. All you really have to do is make sure that you focus fire the beak things and you spread your guys out a little bit. Most of it won't take a lot of micromanaging. It's just beak things specifically. That's where that automatic AoE hit that can't be blocked. I mean can't be blocked. No matter how high their defensive stat is, if it targets a character with an attack, every character standing next to him can't block it. So that once you understand that and you know to spread your guys out, the beak things are a lot less dangerous. The other thing about them just hitting hard enough without good armor is tough, but that all comes down to stats and training. Oh, it looks like Hot Long's got all of these together while we were out. But yeah, you can have your tanks and your crossbow guys as separate, but this is a strategy I've been using ever since I realized it worked, basically. Everybody's in heavy armor. A lot of times I'll use crab armor, but it is uniquely nice to use samurai armor because there's no dexterity penalty. So they're going to reload faster than they would in crab armor, which is nice, but it's not necessary. And you can have your crossbow guys in light armor, but that means you have to micromanage every single one of them. At least at the early start, because if they shoot each other, they'll just kill each other. If I take these guys' armor off and walk them out to fight, they'll all die. They'll just kill each other. Even with them being fairly good at not shooting each other. Oh, again, this is... The only mods I have are just to improve performance, improve the map and the UI. the whole point of this playthrough was to just show some strategies for playing without mods. That way, anybody who's playing could replicate what I'm doing, use some of these strategies if they're new. We built this base up from basically nothing. We came out here, set up a stone mine. We had a few fighters ready to go, and just started building it up with some mercenaries to keep the bandits off our back. You know, this is very... We built a base pretty early, and we racked up a lot of cats just selling copper, but that's the only reason I don't use the squad limit. I always use the squad limit. I always prefer to play that way. Having 30 people, and that being the maximum, is a huge hindrance to the way I like to play. I like to build these massive, powerful armies and go take over the world with it. And that's very... I'm trying to do it right now with 30 people, but it's not looking great, if I'm being honest. Every time I leave the base, it's either going to get raided and they're going to take all our food and our equipment, or I'm going to have to leave some of them behind, and we're going to have to get a lot tougher individually to be able to fight anybody hard. But I would always use 256 squad limit. Always. I love that mod. Like, this was just, I wanted to start streaming Kenshi, and I wanted to show people, okay, this is unmodded Kenshi. You can play it as is. I have to have some because while I'm recording, I don't have a space station for a PC, so I need some of the performance improving mods. And the UI is just better. But my UI being dark isn't going to change whether or not you can throw some guys in heavy armor and crossbows and run roughshod over all the bandits. Okay, we need to get some lights going in here. Well, is she considered working in darkness? I'll have to wait and see. Oh, you're not set up to run all of these yet, are you? But yeah, the not having 256 people is definitely a challenge. It's a lot harder to do some of the more grandiose things in this game with so few people. So that's been kind of nice. I will say it has been a nice challenge, and it's kept me on my toes because I tried to defend the base with some shenanigans, and I lost 8 people. And all of my robot recruits, which really stunk. Get some ceiling fans in here. Or not ceiling fans, some lights. Make sure nobody's working in darkness while they're working in here. And then I'm going to want Oren to manage the hemp processor. Got to store the fabrics. All right, thanks, man. Yeah, I have a full mod list too. When I do another playthrough, I'll make sure I put that up there. I've got a long list of great mods. Basically, anything that gives the shopkeepers more money and more items is some of the best stuff. That and the squad limit. So thanks for dropping by. Those mods really help with your performance, and they make the map and the UI look great. So enjoy it. That did remind me something I was trying to review this morning before getting on. The armor and the way it works is absolutely convoluted, but they do overlap. So I actually would benefit in some ways from having the actual heavy boots. But I feel like I've never seen anybody who really does guides on armor or explains how it works. They still end up wearing sandals. So maybe there's a cost-benefit analysis there, but the short of it is that everything that overlaps absolutely does give more protection to those areas. So, for instance, with Beep, it's probably great that he's wearing some kind of shirt because his chest just gets caved in constantly. So what's going on here with Oron? Is he having trouble? Oh, we don't have hemp storage, do we? Okay, so where is he putting it? Okay, he has to actually work the hemp processor too. That's interesting. I haven't really tried to produce this stuff on my own before. I usually just worry about food and produce weapons if I need money, because I'll play with the mods where the shopkeepers actually have money. And at this point, I usually don't need money. Actually, yeah, I usually just craft everything myself and don't really have a need for money. We have our own food and everything we could possibly need. When I do my modded playthrough, we're absolutely going to even be using things like building our own cybernetic arms as well. But that is something I need to reassess on if we want to go through and make sure everyone has a shirt. Look at anyone who doesn't have cybernetic legs. Do we want sandals or do we want boots? I kind of want to see how the crab armor is going to perform too, but it's really hard to acquire high quality crab armor in any decent number without crafting it myself. And heaven help me, getting the pattern for those boots is nearly impossible. So it looks like the bottleneck... Turn for tribute. Yeah. So we're going to ally with the Shek in the long run, so we don't mind paying tribute to these guys. Most of our teammates are actually Shrek. Most of the people here are Shek. So we don't mind giving them their due, letting them have some food. We've also got plenty to spare, so that makes that a very light tax. They're basically asking us for nothing. And in exchange, we get to live here in peace. Sometimes bothered by the Holy Nation, but that's about it. I have noticed the Ninja Gaiden don't come here anymore. We don't have any more invasions from them ever since we went and wiped out their leaders. We need to come up with a name for the faction. So I'll do like a community post, see if, because it was nice having Xander drop by for the actual live portion, and Fennec is always on watching. But I know there's more people watching it after the fact. So if you have an idea of what we should name the faction, I'm really not sure with this one. This was more of a demonstration type playthrough. I hadn't really thought about the story behind most of these characters. I've only recently kind of looked at, role-playing a little bit with General Beep and having him running the show. He's at least running the military, whereas myself, I'm over here doing some of the science and research, building up the electricals. This is like the character I built to be me. Generously thick in the middle. Nice beard, you know, the usual. But I've kind of just been hanging out in the back doing research and planning everything, but Beep's been the one executing all of the plans. He gets shit done. And he has been ever since we got him. It is kind of funny to think about how humble this playthrough started and how quickly we've become this thriving base. It definitely looks like the bottleneck for hash production is going to be this right here. We've got a ton of these already. Hot Longs, let's have you also haul. Oh, don't get caught up in it. Okay, I don't like that. Let's fix this up. When you see them twitching like that, it tends to lead to problems. You don't want them running back and forth, tweaking out like that. But yeah, we've got... How much do we have here? We've already got 93 of it. We're burning through it very slowly. Oh, the job is science. Okay. Who's got the highest science stat? It's probably me or one of the people we had building electronics. 72. Yep. Okay, knowing that it's science, we're actually going to take me off of crossbow crafting. We've got plenty of ammo. We're going to take Orin off of that. Yeah, that's going to make that go much faster. And we've stockpiled enough electrical components that we can take Inu off of it as well and build another one of these processors. Want to make sure we stay in the light. I could just build another light, but it seems wasteful. We'll put Oron back on engineering. One of the other things we're really going to look forward to getting is everyone outfitted with backpacks that suit what they're doing. The people that have jobs around the base will probably carry around the backpacks that are going to serve that purpose. They're going to help them carry around large amounts of plants, things like that. And anyone who doesn't have a job like that will have the good backpacks for looting. I think Fuman's the only one that doesn't have a backpack, so we'll fix that. Oh, we've still got some dodgy weapons on our guys that are defending the base. Looks like it starts with Meow and Fuman. So we've still got some equipment that desperately needs upgraded, and we'll attend to that. I think we're going to stop buying from the ninjas and focus on purchasing from the robots, whether it's armor or weaponry, so we can get the very best stuff. So this is what it looks like when we get attacked by random bandits. They just get mowed down by the turrets. The peeler machines are leftovers from when we had a bunch of bandits come in and kill a bunch of our people. I was a little pissed off about it. I may have taken things a little too far, but I don't know. It serves as a nice warning to other bandits, seeing all those other guys taken care of. Let's see how production's coming. Not very fast. That's kind of a bummer how slow that is, but it makes sense. It's an extremely valuable product. We had one more person that had good science. We might go for broke and have 3 people working at that. Who was it? Cat. Ooh, but you're cooking food. I don't think we want to do that. I don't think we want to do that. We like having our food wildly overproduced. The worst thing that can happen is everyone starts starving because our food production falls off. Although, we do seem to have plenty. Gotta be honest. That might be worth it. You know, at least in the short term, we could. Let's take a look here. It's funny that she has such a penalty to leveling cooking. What's her cooking stat at now? She has a pretty heavy penalty to cooking, which is funny. Let's come in here, Cat. We're gonna escalate the hashish production a little bit more. And we're just going to install more lights. So it looks like it's just this one. For whatever reason, she didn't like the way that's positioned, so we'll just get rid of that. We'll have Cat operating this still. A processor, it's not a still. This should get us to producing a little bit faster. Doesn't look like we're going to have trouble keeping up with having enough plants, though, which is nice. So now that that's stepping up, it's not costing us anything from here on out to make it, which means when we go sell this at a crazy markup, we're going to make a lot of money without having to purchase it in the first place. That's just going to double and triple the money we get from it. The only downside to this is now we're kind of at a point where we want to be at base. We want to just kind of chill, build up some food, build up some product to sell. And that doesn't make for the best stream. So we're going to find a way to get ourselves into a little action here. I think we can leave this to just me and maybe Inu. Maybe we'll switch Inu to the base squad for now. And Cat. We could switch just those 2 out. Leave them here at the base. Cat, Inu here at the base with me. Ooh, let's check on our harpoon turret guys. They like to not eat. We still keep running into that sometimes. We gotta check on them from time to time. So what'll happen is they'll get locked onto something that's at a distance and they can't really kill. And if it just hangs out in that area, they'll stand there trying to get a beat on it until they starve to death. So you gotta keep an eye on your turret guys. Don't leave them hanging. They work too hard. They try way too hard to get the job done. So let's take the whole squad. What do we have? Gary, you're still carrying ammunition and food. That's kind of good, though. We got a new backpack. Who's wearing a terrible backpack? You're wearing a terrible backpack. Go trade with Chomper. Well, hold on. Let's empty your backpack. What? No, trade with Chomper. What are you doing? And we'll sell that the next time we go on a run. We need to empty all the medical supplies into the med kits. Or sorry, into the medical chest. We want all of the food emptied over here. And we're gonna pile them back up with food, but I just want to get everything kind of organized. The bread can't be stored, so we'll just keep that on Gary. And what we're going to do is we're going to put supplies for our people on Chomper and things we're going to sell on Gary. And we'll still probably have stuff we're going to sell on Chomper, but for the most part he'll be our supplies pack bull. So we're going to turn all their jobs off. Have everybody come get geared up. Chomper, we want to have a decent amount of ammo. That way if we run out in the middle of a run, we can resupply. And then Beep, we're just going to go through and make sure everybody's got ammunition, good health kits. He did bring back a new crossbow, which is nice. Okay, you've got a Junker health kit to go with it, but that's fine. We'll stack up a little more ammo. We're going to be gone for a while this time. We're going to go running around. See if we can find some new recruits the old-fashioned way by actually taking these guys around to do some recruiting. I need you to put that stuff away, man. We don't need to carry that around. Beast Trader's on its way, but we're not going to be looking at buying any beasts anytime soon. Double check. Zill, you've got everything you need. We could put a few repair kits on other people so they can help keep Beep taken care of. That's not a bad idea. It does look like most people are pretty well armed up still. Make sure I didn't miss anything. You could probably use another medical kit before too long. Ooh, you are completely strapped on ammunition. We don't like that. Give you another med kit. Give you another med kit. Alright. Next thing is to get everybody packed up with a little bit of food. Just whatever they can carry, really. I'm not worried about putting a ton of food on them. We're not really interested in the beast trader. We're not going to pick up any more beasts anytime soon. We're going to be getting rid of these, sadly. We just can't. We don't want to have to cut our squad down like that to where we don't have the ability to hire a full 30 people. And we'll just load up Chomper with a ton of food. That way we can go out for a while and not come back until we absolutely have to. So we've got enough people. They're on range taunt. Good to go. I guess the beast trader walked off. He got annoyed with me taking forever to answer him, but that's fine. We don't actually need anything from him. Let's head to Squin. Ooh. Well, let's look at it this way. We know we need 3 pairs of pants. Man, we don't know nothing. I already forgot. Who's attacking you guys? Nothing. Okay. Casual, what are you doing? Out of resource. So we did outwork what we could do. Ha! I took our person operating it, didn't I? I took Hot Longs. Oh, goodness. So we've got to leave her behind as well. Glad I double checked that. So we'll leave Hot Longs here to do her job. She's going to need to ditch all that food she just picked up. That'll get them back to producing. Okay. So we need armor. We could head up to the armor area, or we could make another hash run. I really don't think we want to go to the Bugmaster until we're at full strength. So we could recruit some people to bring home. We've got enough people to fight and defend. But I really think our best bet is to check how much armor we need and go get to purchasing that. Okay. 3 pants, 4 shirts, 8 helmets. Goodness. So we could take our whole squad up to the Floodlands and basically hang out there and stack up a ton of armor. I think that's what we can do. We need to probably do one more run and make the money for it, but I'm not sure. What's our production look like? Nothing crazy. Let's go do a couple more runs, because that usually ends up being pretty action-packed. We'll do our circuit I talked about yesterday and get a little action in while we make some money. That guy made a mistake. That's what happens when you mess with us, man. I don't know why he did it. The solo bandit thought he's going to take us all out, I guess. So what we're going to do now, once we get our last few recruits, we move away from using the animals. We're going to go and try to take out the Bugmaster, because that will allow us to ally with the Shek properly, and I'm hoping that'll make them stop coming by for tribute, because it's annoying. And then we are going to go just poke the bear with the Holy Nation. We're going to tick them off on purpose and make them come to us and fight us at our base. The idea being that we're going to have covering fire from the turrets and use that to our advantage while we're duking it out with them. We don't necessarily want to hide behind our walls. We just want to take that fight with the turrets overhead, shooting at them as well. Because they're not going to do nearly as much damage to us as they are to the Holy Nation guys. There are also a lot of science things we could go and get, but they're at risk of dealing with acid rain. And that's the one thing I'm not sure about, is if we want to... We should do a trek to see how well we handle that once we don't have our animals with us, and see how much of a problem it really is, as well as just check the availability of the crab armor. I might actually be able to put Griffin back in his sneaky getup, because one of the things that stinks about the crab raiders is that if you're not already allied with them and they see you out in the wild, they'll just attack you. They're just on sight. I don't know why, but that's just how they do it. Okay, you have nothing. What the heck? Who's selling the hash here? Somebody was. Is it already too late at night? That doesn't make sense. I thought there was someone selling here. Maybe this was the one place that didn't. Well, we'll put Gary down. Prayer day's on the way. That's fine. Yeah, I guess there's nothing here. So that's interesting. We'll head down here and then to Shark. Come on, guys. We'll head down here and then to Shark. What are you doing? Why won't you guys head down there? I guess it's a little too out of the way. There we go. Where do I have to click for you to go there? I guess we'll go to Shark first. Game's being weird. Doesn't want a path over there. Oh, we've already got blood spiders chasing us. That's the nice thing about having the lights. We can actually see them. I don't think we can... Well, we don't want to end up having to run through the water and fighting them. So we'll take the fight to them right quick. Because we don't want to get stuck trying to swim through the swamp water, getting bitten by spiders the whole time. That's how you end up with people getting hurt really bad. Oh, he doesn't have any food. We should throw some of the stuff from Chomper over to Gary. For some reason, I don't think the pack animals will eat out of our backpacks, so we got to keep both of them stocked with food, just to be sure they don't get too hungry. Yep, he wasn't eating until I put it in his pack. We're just going to head straight to Shark. The game's being finicky. We'll probably still hit that other village, but only if we can path there without too much trouble. Not trying to trudge through the swamp forever. Prayer Day's still not here. Our production's stepping up a little bit. We got one full stack, which is nice. Hot Longs, are you tweaking again? We're going to take her off of storing that stuff. For whatever reason, that just royally messes her up. I don't know if it's how her inventory is laid out or what, but we're just going to stop that. Does seem like we're just barely keeping up. If we ever end up with these guys sitting around bored, we're going to have to up the number of these we have running. Okay, you don't have any. I'm just gonna pick up Gary with Beat. That just makes it easier. Instead of trying to run everyone all around town. Oh yeah, Gary can't talk to him, of course. And we know we have enough crossbows, so that's something to remember. If we see a masterwork, though, we'll buy it. We know we need at least one good sword. Good might be a stretch, but good enough. Faction HQ bar. And then the actual skeleton bar is where I can buy a little bit of stuff. It's not much, but it's a little bit. And now we'll try and head to this swamp village. There we go. Looks like it's working out fine. Oh, put Gary down. We'll do that in town, but we're not gonna... We gotta actually protect Gary while we're doing our trade route. Okay, Prayer Day has arrived. We're actually going to come back in here. Well, that's where the blood spiders are. Get back in the town. And we'll go check out Prayer Day. Can't leave these guys waiting. Prayer Day over. I can't wait to just say everything I can think of to piss that guy off. The Holy Nation's just kind of one of the worst ones. Like, it's kind of weird. They're like traditional marriage kind of religion, but at the same time, they're like women are just naturally evil. It's kind of crazy to think that they can't even talk to women that aren't their wife. It's such a strange, regressive society, but at the same time, the way we do it nowadays isn't exactly working either. Pick this up. But my main issue with the Holy Nation is that they try to come and bother us and make us say prayers every day, like we're too stupid to pray ourselves. So even if you were to like try and join up with the Holy Nation, they're still going to treat you like you're too stupid to breathe through your nose. Okay, it looks like that's all we're getting from here. That wasn't probably worth the trek. Looks like Shark, Mudtown, and Rot are going to be our best bet. Why are you guys so spread out? Don't do that. Let's head to Mud Town. It's honestly been kind of nice doing this run with a squad instead of one guy running at the speed of light, because I don't get a ton of loading screens. And I would rather have to do the run a little slower than sit here and have the game stutter step and pause all the time. I just think that's annoying. And I can't wait to see if Kenshi 2 is able to handle everything better and just process the game quick enough that you don't run into that. I really hope with Chris switching over to Unreal Engine that we don't see that issue. I think the system, I've talked about this before, the system this was made on I think was called Ogre, which I had never heard of before Kenshi, so that should tell you all you need to know about how old that is. Gary, why are you falling behind? What are you doing? Don't do that. Alright, B. Pick up Gary. Swamp Dome. There it is. There's the guy selling. Not selling a whole lot, but it's something. And then this bar, since it's the only bar here, is probably just gambling. Yep. Whenever you see him say something like dry out, that means that's just where you play cards. I have no idea how to play the card game in this game. It all seems like gibberish to me, and I didn't want to take the time to figure it out, because he's just flopping bagels or whispering fish or something. It's a bunch of nonsense. I just can't be bothered. I wonder if that's something Frankie's figured out. Does Frankie know how to play the card games? Now, one of the biggest flaws in my strategy here for fighting the Holy Nation is I don't think we're going to be able to shoot at the actual faction leaders. I think if you've got diplomatic status, you're not really able to shoot at them with crossbows. So we're going to have to get down to melee with some very tough characters. Looks like we got here a little too late. Oh, he's still selling. Are there any actual shops here? There's one shop over here. Do you have any? Nope. Okay, so we've got most of what we're going to get here. We'll check the Gray Flayer village, but honestly it's already nighttime, so instead of just waiting, let's get out of the swamp and head to Flat Lagoon. Flats Lagoon? Yeah, Flat Lagoon's the area, and then Flats Lagoon's the city. What would be... Maybe that's something we could do. We could build ourselves. See if we can find an area big and open enough. Oh, we're getting attacked. Our animals are under attack. So we'll have them over here, the animals over here. Wiping out spiders isn't really a big deal. And the raptors aren't going to attack us as long as we don't attack them. So we're not worried about them. Looks like Cat and Inu and I are staying busy, so we're not outpacing Hot Long. So that's the only thing I was worried about, is that we would outpace her. As long as that's not the case, we're good to go. It does look like it's just barely, though. Oh, we did lose some people. I knew it. Gotta keep an eye on this. You can't let your guys travel a long distance without keeping an eye on them. I've paid the price a couple times with that. We're heading out to Flats Lagoon right now. If you just joined, we are doing a run trying to sell some hash to get some more funding. We're also making some at home, but while we wait for that to pile up, we went to go make some money and buy some armor. We're gonna we've got a ton of food supplies on our pack animals and ammo. So we've got the ability to stay in the field for quite a while. So we're gonna take the trek up to the Armor King and load up on armor. And we're kind of just gonna hang out there and see if he can give us what we need. Ooh, we could have Beep run down to Crabtown as well and ally with the Crab Raiders. That could allow us to get some nice crab armor if we need to. I think they're a lot rarer to have high quality crab armor though, so we'll have to see. I'm also tempted to set up a melee squad in general. Oh, so this is where we gotta employ a little bit of tactics here. We don't want our animals too far away, but we can't have them in the middle of this. And we need to knock out the beak thing. So this will demonstrate something I was talking to Xander about earlier. These beak things should walk up and start attacking, and they're going to hit everybody. And since we're all set to ranged, we're not even trying to block it, which is unfortunate. But you can see we're all starting to take hits, and that's where they get their big advantage. And we have to focus fire to counter that. Ooh, not you guys. Not you guys. You guys stay out of that. You guys get so messed up. But we're actually taking beatings from these things because we're grouped up. If we weren't grouped up, it wouldn't be nearly as bad. Let's actually set him up to forage animals. Are you not going to do it? I guess he's not going to do it without a place to take it. So that's fine. We will grab it with Gary and Chomper. And Chomper, make sure you're not getting attacked. Ah, they're still having these bandits come after them. We really want them staying out of the fight as much as possible. And we don't want our guys standing in melee just taking hits. We want to get back and use our crossbows. Most of the time we don't have to micromanage much, but they manage to get in the middle of our group pretty quickly. But this is a good fight to demonstrate how well we deal with situations like beak things and then getting it mobbed up by bandits right after. If you look at Bombingham, he's got a 1v1 with this bandit going where he's just keeping him locked up with shots. And as we start to win the numbers game, it just becomes all of us versus one or two of them, and the crossbows really take effect. Now that beak thing might, well, no, okay. So the beak thing wants to fight. We'll give it a fight. Zill looks like he's too injured. To use his crossbow. And he's pretty beat up. Beep, can you splint him? Is he not? Let's get everybody patched up. We don't really want to sit here and fight beak things if we can avoid it. You guys aren't set to attack enemies anymore, so chill. Oh, that guy's shooting our pets. No wonder you're getting pissy. We also have the ability, even when we're fighting humans, to focus fire and get a bit of an advantage from that. We want to scoot up. These are really short range, inaccurate crossbows, so while they do still have a great effect on combat, we don't want to be far away. We want to be pretty up in their face about it. We're going to miss each other for the most part, and when we do hit, it's not going to do any damage. We'd like to get this beak thing down before he gets in there very close. Zill, we'll let you keep tanking him up front and we'll scoot up. Alright. We are running into so many enemies. Now everybody's set to splint injuries, at least. So this is what I was talking about before. Hopefully now he'll be able to use his crossbow, but I'm not sure. Let's continue over to Flats Lagoon. So yeah, we just kept getting attacked there, and we really didn't have any problems. Some of our characters are getting pretty skilled in melee and crossbows, but a lot of them are pretty low skill. We're just kind of taking advantage of our positioning to get it done. They're taunting the mist ghouls. That's a mod I haven't tried that I might, though, is one that adds in all of the legendary creatures you never actually see. Turns them into real problems in the game. Let's go this way. We don't want to spend all day in the water. Let's get across and get over there. This is going to be funny. The bandit demands are going to show up, they're going to make it to our outpost, and they're going to die. All before anything else really happens. It'd be great if all the traveling hive traders paid the price markup on our hash while they're here. That would be useful. If there's a mod I'm missing right now the most, it's the shopkeepers actually having money. Do you guys have a masterwork crossbow? You do not. It's tempting to try out some of these and see how they go. I'm just a little worried that we're going to end up killing each other if we do that. I do know we need more ancient science books, so we'll purchase those as well. Better backpack. More books. We're mostly trying to stack up money for armor, but we're going to do that either way, even with making these purchases, so I'm not that worried about it. The whole base has been under attack for a while, so let's at least make sure everything's good to go here. Oh yeah. No problems. Oh, they can't quite hit him. That's funny. Are you guys really just not quite able to hit him? Okay. Rain. Why don't you come down here? There we go. Take care of that guy right quick. Let's see what the armor shop has. I just wanted to make sure they weren't piling through the door somehow and ruining everything. Three more chests. No, 4 more chests. I'm never gonna remember. I'm gonna have to keep checking. Something about it. I just can't get my brain to hold on to that information. Okay, 3 chests, 3 pants, 4 chests. Jesus. And we only want like specialist or above, or at least high grade. We take high grade, but not this shoddy garbage. Wait a second. No really good weapons either. A random masterwork crossbow. Dang. No helmets we actually want. Okay, and we're just gonna have to wait for them to refresh what they've got. Takes a little time, but that's what happens when you have enough product to sell, more than they have money to buy. We can check on our base guys and see how they're doing. 1, 2, 3. 3 full stacks of it isn't bad. How much can we actually carry? So if you look at, they stack up to 6, so it'd be 60. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 60. 3, 4, 5, 6, 60 times 360 of them. So we're looking at 6 stacks, 7, a little over 7 full stacks is what we can carry on one animal. So we're gonna want more storage. Ooh, what's going on here? We did run out. Finally got ahead of her, it looks like. Interesting. Okay. That's not a big deal, though. We can make some more. Put me on engineering. We'll move it up for now. We'll turn their jobs off so they don't burn through the hemp before we're ready. You still haven't refreshed your inventory yet. Okay. Basically, I'm just going to build these up and get a little bit better hash production going. Or I should say hemp production, so that we can keep up with our hash processors. Hemp processors to make hash. Goodness. Also, this quick break in production will allow her to catch up a little bit. It's not really that big of a deal to make everything keep up, but in general, if you can, you want whatever you're using to process into food to outpace or very closely lag behind. Like if they were taking a break for like 5 minutes, that's not a big deal, but when it looks like none of them are anywhere near finished growing, and I've got them sitting around, we want to get that production up. We need to produce more. Still haven't refreshed their loot. Oh, the caravanners must have pissed off the tech hunters somehow. That's not good. So I see this sometimes. I don't know what causes it. I really don't. But something happens when the hive come here to visit. Maybe they stay in a shop too long. That's probably what it is. And they end up trying to break out, and it turns them hostile against the tech hunters. It's one of the weirdest interactions, but I see it pretty consistently here if I hang out long enough. Oh, so he will pay the increased prices if he's in Flats Lagoon. He just has to actually be in here. Okay. Anytime we're outside the city, they don't, though. That's for sure. So that's good to know. I can catch them as they're coming in and sell to them. Oh, that's the same one. And they spent money with him too, but he didn't get it added to his inventory, which is kind of weird. You're still broke as a joke. It's crazy that this whole group got attacked like that. I hope the hive don't end up killing off too many of the guards. That's going to make it to where selling here is going to suck, because all the actual people here would get taken out by animals. We'll go check on the base. Still waiting on components. Let's get everybody engineering here. Put engineering above hemp processing. And that should do the trick. This is taking too long. I should have just done that in the first place, but that's okay. There he goes. He's updated his store finally. Take those in case we need it. So it looks like they're at 1 o'clock maybe in the day is when they update. Let's see if everybody else did. Yep, they sure did. Perfect. They don't have anything fancy for us, so we'll leave it be. Didn't have anything else we really wanted to sell or get rid of, did we? No. It's crazy that this is happening. It is just crazy. Do these pack beasts have anything good on them? No. That one does. Look at that loot. The sheer quantity of it is staggering. We could sell all of that. I don't think that... Well, they're considered criminals, right? We'll get Beep away and make sure nobody sees him doing the deed. Huh. Yeah, the Hive are really they're gonna eventually outnumber these guys. I don't understand why this is happening. So Gary, we'll trade you. We pick you up. See if we can sell stuff here. We can sell all of this. That's crazy. They just do not give a damn. Okay. I mean, we'll take it. I'm nothing if not an opportunist, and the Hivers started it. This is their city. They shouldn't have been attacking these guys. That's definitely going to be the money we need, though. I don't see how we could possibly need any more money. Alright. Well, that's a trip. I can't believe that that happened. Not only were they fighting with the local guards, but they had a bunch of sweet loot on some of them. Are there any others? I mean... We may not need the money, but we'll take it. They even have hash from when we bought it. Oh, wow. That's crazy. The tech hunters don't even consider it a crime. Well, here we go. I mean, again, I'm going to take what they give me. That's got to be the most convenient happenstance we've had in a while. I don't know that I want to bother selling. Well, we're not going to farm up any of this stuff, so we may as well sell it. Just sell it all. Sell the backpack too. can't afford that. Okay. Come over here. Sell you that backpack, and we'll check the armor store right quick, because we might have stuff to buy there. High grade, I don't think I want to bother with. I really don't. We have so much money. We should just go buy the really good stuff for the rest of our guys. Ooh, they're starting to overpower the guards, though. That's not good. That is really not good. I wish I knew what started it. I guess it's not really our problem, though, and it's time to get back. It's time to head out. How are we doing on food? We still have a ton of food. Yeah, I guess we head out and buy our armor and leave them to their little battle here. That's a trip. Because they're going to end up flattening Flats Lagoon. And then we're not going to be able to sell stuff there much longer. I don't like that, but it is what it is. Why is everybody going a different direction? I don't like it when you guys split up. Now I need to go check on Hot Longs, get her actually operating these other three, and we should be good to go. What do you have for us? I always say, you probably don't have anything, and then I'll check it out and be really glad I bought stuff. Oh, they're goats. I was like, who's invading the base? It's just a bunch of goats. Get over there before they leave. Regular books wouldn't be bad, but we're about to go buy our armor. I don't want to interfere with buying our armor. Yeah, let's let the goats leave. I saw the goats charging in and thought we were being invaded by bandits or something. I'd opened the gate just in time to get attacked. What's our best route here? I think it's up through Skinner's Row. Kind of giving ourselves away to any beak things wearing these lanterns, but I'd rather be able to shoot if we see them than hope they miss us. We're not exactly able to run around in stealth in this clankety armor. How is the production going? Very good, very good. So we might have to make a long trek to do... Oh, we wandered into a bunch of... What did we wander into a bunch of? Robots. Okay. I'm kind of curious how we stack up against robots with our crossbows, so that's actually a good thing. Let's come to this point, and we'll take them around the back and keep them out of harm's way. But we still want to move around a little bit. We don't want everyone tied up in the melee. They're doing some crazy damage to us. They've got better weapons for getting through armor, and that's always a problem. Zill's already on the ground. Beep, let's get you pulled back and shooting. We'd rather have them double teaming some of us than to be taking those one-on-ones. I don't normally have to micro much, but when they outnumber us, that's when we get stuck doing it sometimes. We want to keep everyone getting close. Jag, you need to get closer. But that cleaned it up pretty well. We actually took a beating there on some of our guys. Zill especially got wrecked. But that's what builds up their toughness. You know, they'll be okay. Cutting up through there is looking dangerous, but it is nighttime, so at least we won't have to deal with the lasers. Well, it's about to not be nighttime, so hopefully we'll get the heck out of here. We're going to steer around the beak things. We don't want to get caught with fire raining down on our heads, fighting beak thing after beak thing and every random robot that shows up. That sounds like a good way to actually lose somebody. Return for tributes on the way. I think this afternoon we could be looking at taking on the Bugmaster. I think we're that close. Once we get our last few recruits, we can head that way. It's going to be dangerous though. We're going to be fighting lots of spiders. I don't know how new recruits are going to handle dealing with those. But I want to say that all we need is to take everybody and it'll work out just fine. Oh no, Beep. Beep, give him back his backpack. There we go. Poor Gary's over here hungry. The boy's gotta eat. What is that? Hungry bandits. We gotta take them out. That's what we do. We don't let bandits run around. Probably shouldn't, but we're going to. Let's see if we can get some of these taken out before they even get here. We're gonna have the back half scoot back just a little bit so they stay out of melee. We don't want to get into a straight up melee fight here. Make sure you guys get some distance and take some shots. Luckily, at least these bandits aren't very skilled, so even when it comes to a hand-to-hand weapons fight, we're not that bad off. Turn for tribute is here. We want to hustle out there so we can get them their food. They really don't take much, honestly. It's never that big of a deal. Go ahead and close the gate. Get back to our squad here. Alright, we're not going to take any more nonsense fights. We've got some people that are pretty beat up. Ha! They don't outnumber us, so that doesn't count as a nonsense fight, right? Yeah, that'll be fine. Shoot the front guy. There we go. And then we just want one or two people to back up. That's all it'll take. Ah! And this is what I get. This, I deserve this. Now we've got to take out that beak thing ASAP. Everybody but you guys, attack the beak thing. Beep, make sure it stays down. We're not gonna worry about carrying this shit. Yeah, that's what I get. Said I wouldn't take any more BS fights, and here we are. Let's go stack up on Zill. Nope, nope, nope. Alright. Too many injuries. We're not playing around. We're actually going to stop taking nonsense fights. Get some healing in before we go further. We do have some people that are really beat up. What? Okay, those are bulls. So the bulls leave you alone as long as you leave them alone. We don't need food, so there's no reason to start anything with them and get torn up. Oh, some of them don't have sandals, I forgot. We gotta get everybody some shoes. Well, get out of there. Get out of there. We're not gonna run your feet right off. Yeah, let's get out of there. See, if we were to set up out here, though, we could just farm up cattle. Well, not farm them, but hunt all those bulls. We want to stay out of the acid rain, guys. Knock it off. Go over this way. They really want to use this road for whatever reason. What do we have for faction events? Prayer Day's coming up, and then Dust Bandits. If you really want to try, have at it. These guys are staying nice and busy now that we've got hot longs enough farms to operate. It might be a little unnecessary to take this many people up there. I probably could have Beep just take Gary and Chomper, but it's way safer having a group. No matter what we run into, short of starting a war with the Holy Nation, we should be okay. We've got some humans with us that we can say are the leader, but we are risking a little bit by going through their territory. Because if they take issue with us and try to take some of our people, we're not going to let them do that. We're not going to let them enslave anybody. Man, the dust and fog is thick through there. Look at that. It's just a wall of it. Guys, keep moving. We don't want to be stuck down here. Got to get up to the Armor King, and then we're just going to load up on armor from there. We've got enough food to last us for a long, long time. Can even take some food off of Chomper and pass it out just to make sure. But even the individual characters are still carrying a lot of food, so we're not having much trouble there. Let's look at encumbrance. If we take a look at these guys, a lot of them are getting to where they can carry their armor without being heavily encumbered. If we were to stack up enough money to augment everyone like Beep is, that might even be a good idea. That might be a way to go. Is his crossbow affected by this? No. If anything, oh, we did KLRs for this. So he's not even focused on strength. So he's got a bonus to dexterity, which is going to make him even better at shooting. That's pretty nice. Okay, we made it up here. Now we just want to get to that point, and then that will let us walk over. What? Yeah, this is what I was worried about. We're gonna have to fight them. That stinks. We did not want to do that. Let's get some of our best fighters out of melee range. Goodness, guys, come on. Not you guys. No, guys, stay back. Hold passive. We're starting to have some of our guys get knocked down. Holy Nation is a whole different program of tough. Let's check these guys. We're gonna have to make sure they don't have weapons in case they stand up. Let's do that. And then beep. Okay, looks like Birmingham can walk. Oh boy, I did not want to fight the Holy Nation out here. That is unfortunate. What is our faction standing with them now? We're at 2. We're slightly positive. Maybe all those prayer days paid off. But if we get into a lot of fights with these guys, that's not going to matter. So normally I thought they would walk up to us, but maybe it's because we have Beep in the first slot. He's seen as the leader, and the game's just picking up on that. I'm not too sure about the inner workings of how the game decides who's in charge, but I wonder if that's the case. Because they didn't even give us a chance to talk. They just attacked. That's the other reason I don't like the Holy Nation and the UC is they'll just randomly attack you. You won't even get a chance to talk. You won't. It's very random. Especially if you have females. Like when you have non-humans, you kind of get what you get. But when you have just females in your group, or if they're wandering around alone, sometimes they'll just come up and take them. Be like, yeah, we're taking you to slavery now, or what are you doing? You know, you get accused of having an OnlyFans, and then suddenly you're in prison. It's ridiculous. Come on, guys. No, stay together. Do we still have everybody, or did we lose someone? We still have everybody. Good. Might have to walk them manually to the spot we're trying to get to. We're at least on our way to the Armor King, though. We're going to be in a pretty safe area soon. Whoop. They saw me. Oh, you, dude, we're not going to mess with you. You're fine. No, yeah, we're not there yet. Raptors. It's funny how the Raptors are just vegetable eaters in this game. You would kind of... My first expectation would be that they'd be some of the most dangerous animals in the game, but And they are a little dangerous if you piss them off, but for the most part, they just leave you alone. It's a hound nest. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with us. We should be fine. Now, although we're going to be safe, right now we are not. So we're going to make sure we get all the way over to the Armor King before we relax at all. And oh, Jaglonger, come on, stay with us. This area is going to stink just how slow we're going to progress towards him, but this is how you get to him. If there's a mod that just puts a road right down the middle of this river, I'm definitely finding that and downloading it when I do my modded playthrough. We've had some pretty good success today, though, just like we did yesterday. We made a lot of money. We've gotten a lot of experience in combat. We're going to buy our 3 pairs of pants, our 4 chest pieces, and 8 helmets, and then head out to recruit. Once we have those recruits, we'll head home. Or we might go home and let Beep recruit. I haven't decided. It's kind of a hassle, especially using crossbows like we are, to get recruits home safely. Maybe we'll bring the armor with us. Maybe we'll go home, grab the armor, and go recruiting. Be like, hey, wear this so we don't blow you up with crossbow bolts. That might be the play. We're also going to want to look at getting some shirts for our people. It's going to make a bigger difference than I thought, especially if we can find some that aren't going to interfere with our crossbows any more than our armor already is. Why aren't you guys moving? Oh, because you can't get up there. Okay, fine. Just come over here. It always messes with me seeing the splashing in the water, but I've never seen anything actually come up out of it. It just makes it look like there's something in the water about to attack you. And the other dusty thing about the Armor King is he's not going to refresh other than every 48 hours, I believe. So we might have everybody chill here while we send Beat to check out Crab Town. Oh. Holy crap, it was a skeleton. Why won't it let me identify him and highlight him? I guess you can't if they're underwater. It's a skeleton. They're just wandering back and forth. I didn't know there was actually something there. I thought anytime, even underwater, you could always drag and pick them up, but it looks like that only works for our people. Prayer Day's on the way again. Hopefully they don't get pissy this time. We'll grab Gary. He's got more open inventory. Yeah, I look like a thief, huh? 3 pairs of pants. We want at least high grade. I think we'll take high grade. 4 shirts. None of these helmets are what we want, but he does have specialist chain shirts, but those cost as much as armor. We're gonna wait, make sure we have our basic armor set up for everybody. Jinsei, bring Gary in. Or Chomper, sorry. Put him down. Put Gary down. Yeah, the bandits are starting to pile up a little bit. We're gonna have beep. Oh, we could sell some stuff. What are these guys? They're just skeletons walking around. It's too bad we can't recruit them. It really is. But yeah, we'll have Beep run down to Crabtown. I want to see... Especially since he can actually go to Crabtown without getting melted by the acid. Because the hybrids are immune to it. And see if allying with them, we can purchase some of their armor too. If they're even further away and maybe even more of a nightmare to get to, just because they're so far away. To get to the Crab Town is clear over here, where they actually sell everything and the Crab Queen is. Let's check out the base. Yeah, bandit demands have failed. Of course they did. Beep, we gotta keep you moving, buddy. Why are you just standing there, dude? Let's go. And then we're just heading straight there as best we can. Maybe we'll try and get a different view so we don't get seasick doing it, but once we get there, we will be able to ally with the Crab people and hopefully purchase some of their armor. Next thing I'm going to want to do, again, once we're done recruiting these we haven't had Prayer Day show up, have we? Squad. Faction. They're on the way. Oh, they are. They're like here. Of course they are. Glad I came to check. Beep is going so fast, his name is trying to get ahead of him. He is cooking. He is. He's moving so fast, his name is getting ahead of him. And then he catches back up to it. That's fantastic. I think it's just because his head's leaning forward because he's running so fast, but it still looks funny to me. We're going to see these stutter pauses, sadly, just because it takes time running around, but you know what I haven't done in a while is save. We're going to save just in case we crash running around at light speed. Jinsei. Yep, still nothing new. I think he takes the full 48 hours to restock. So we'll check with him later. Beep is traveling at the speed of sound. He's up to 51 miles an hour. Just flying. Basically highway speeds. His stealth isn't high enough for that to be effective. So with stealth characters, if their stealth is high enough and they're sitting at 100 stealth and you have high athletics, they'll actually run even faster. But you can't go stealth with this kind of armor on. It affects it negatively way too much. It'll actually dial it down to basically 0. So if you look at the stealth effect on these, this is almost 0. This almost cuts it in half. Oh no, the helmet doesn't. It's just these two here. Between the two of these, you basically can't stealth. The interesting thing is watching his legs almost pause as he's running by because they're just going so fast it looks like he's not even moving them. Looks like everybody's staying busy here. We're running past Arc with Beep. We still got a lot of storage left, so I don't need to fuss over that too much. We could have him use the loom and the crafting bench to make sandals, but we'll probably do that once everyone's back. We're almost there. Come on, keep moving, Beep. You're still out here on your own. It's a little dangerous. We just want to avoid getting into any fights with the crab people before we have a chance to go talk to the queen. Tell her we're in love with crabs and we want to join them. We're almost there. Beep got there really fast, despite it being super far away. The only real downside was all the loading screens. The other dangerous part out here are these crazy ass fish people. There's so many of them. And their stats are mediocre, but they're martial artists, so they're still dangerous, and there's so many of them. And if they catch you, they will eat you. So you really have to be careful about dealing with them. Palace of the Crab Queen. I do like that we can just walk in and have a chat. All I know is I love them. I want to join. Sign me up. Alright, and we are in with the Crab Raiders, just like that. It does make enemies of the Reavers, but they attack us on sight anyway. Doesn't make a big difference. We can get high grade crab armor. It looks like it's pretty rare for it to be high grade, but it's possible. The Crab Shoes blueprint is here. Holy! Every blueprint is here. My whole I'm not going to make an armor smith might have just went out the windows. I can't stress enough how rare it is to see this darn thing. Every time I come here, it's not here. I'll wait, reload, reload. We're buying it just in case I change my mind. Just in case I decide I want to make these, because that is crazy. And since they got the high grade chest, I'm going to wait to... It would be even cheaper to arm ourselves in this stuff, though. It is dirt cheap. That is tempting. What are you after? Oh, get out of there. You don't want to get into that bash. No, no, no. Get out of there. Okay, so we can make our own crab armor. We can purchase it if we decide that's necessary. I don't think I'm in a position to figure that out yet. If we want to, though, we can purchase it so cheap. That's a tough call. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to. It's going to take too long. Maybe that's the short answer. It's going to take too long. We don't need the acid protection for our next step. So let's get Beat back to the squad and maybe look at making an armor smith. Maybe we just want to do that. It would probably be Kat, since she's going to have that bonus to it for being a Scorchlander. She could be a fantastic crafter. I mean, the long and short of it is, eventually we're going to want to... Oh, Beep, are you stuck? I also want to save, because that blueprint was there. We're saving again. I normally don't go crazy hammering down the saves every time something happens, but... Oh, the shoes were there. That's all I can say. We know we need the 3 pants, the 4 chests, and 8 helmets. Come on now, we gotta load up, guys. You got some armor ring, Mr. Armor King? You don't have squat. You don't have anything we need. I should have just set up a crafter a long time ago. That was definitely... Once I got the base going, I should have set up a crafter. I think that... Let's see how long it's really going to take. Kat, we want you to be a crafter. We can use this building that we made extra by accident. We want a heavy armor smithy. Ooh, we're getting lagged out here. What's going on? And we're going to need a plate beating station. We'll need storage for the armor plate. And then we'll need actual armor storage. So we'll see about maybe getting an armor crafter put together. That'll make for a good transition into crab armor, which will let us walk around the map much more safely. So if it's feasible, we'll probably do it. It'll just mean Kat will be the person to stay home with the turret guards. And I will probably take me with Beep and the squad. Why am I injured? And outside the base. So I must have gotten phased through there. I don't have med kits on me. That figures. That figures that I would be the person that's just like dogged out, doesn't have the proper equipment he needs, while everybody else has everything they need and they're ready to go. That just figures. We're gonna go up through the skin sands. I have no intention of going through this area. Cat. Is this thing ready yet? We might have to do some off-screen just grind. I don't necessarily want to do that because it makes it seem like there could be stuff going on that you guys don't get to see. Or maybe we'll just have to leave the people operating the iron here as well. Kind of change up who's going out and who's staying home. Now, Cat, your job's come off. We gotta build lights in here. Turn your jobs on. Once you're done engineering, we'll start there. And we're just gonna have to make... The other thing is she's gonna level her stuff a lot cheaper and easier if we don't start there. We'll start her with the fabric crafting. That's what we need to do. We'll start here and here. And we will make sandals because we need them. And then we're getting pretty close to time to wrap up the stream. We got about a half hour left. I'm gonna see if I can't get all of our armor at least packed up and on the way back before we close up. And then this afternoon we'll recruit people and head straight for the Bugmaster. For better or for worse. It's gonna be A little early to be taking 8 fresh-faced recruits, but you got to do what you got to do. I don't know how we're going to deal with the animals we set free. We still kind of need them if we're going to not craft our own equipment from here on out. If we're still going to purchase crossbows and stuff, we need money. The animals make making money easier. I think I could still pick them up, but only if we like beat them up, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to take our animals that were helping us, we're part of the team, beat the crap out of them and use them as dead backpacks. That's kind of scummy. And definitely not realistic to what they would actually do. So maybe we'll just deal with not having animals and have the whole squad use trader backpacks. We'll just purchase more of those. And anytime we need to make money, we'll do it manually like that. Because once we join with the Shek, we're then going to start our fight with the Holy Nation. And I think we'll progress from wiping out the Holy Nation kind of from a defensive position. They're so egotistical that they're going to come after us. Once they realize that we've allied with the Sheks and we're not responding to Prayer Day anymore, that we killed their priests and paladins that show up for Prayer Day, they're going to come to us, and we're going to be able to take that fight on our terms, which has good and bad. The good side is they probably won't enslave anyone if they defeat us. The bad side is they're going to wreck our home, take everything. They might hang out and just beat us down until a lot of us die. So there's good and bad, there's some risk to it, but I'd rather take the fight at home, near all of our supplies, under the defense of our turrets than anything else. We're also going to want to put everyone through some training. There's a turret training bench we can use that will help us get going. Alright, Gary. Masterwork. I love it. Very nice. Some helmets. Good deal. How are we doing on food? We're still fantastic on food. Love to see it. So it's just going to be a matter of time, really, when it comes to this. Let's see how Cat's doing. Oh, we're going to want armor storage in here for the shoes. And even if we end up not using sandals, this is still going to be a much better, easier to maintain way to get her trained up. So if we look, her armor smithing's already up to 7. That's not anything crazy, but it's better than nothing. So right now we're short 1 chest piece, 1 pair of pants, and then the helmets. And as soon as we can get those, we'll be ready to head back. We've got some science material to drop off. We've got some medical supplies that we can stay up on. Then it's just going to be setting the animals free, and I guess we'll set them free in the base and see if they'll just stay. We won't be able to use them, but they'll at least just be able to stay. Maybe they'll just stay there and eat. That would probably be the coolest thing. Basically be the base pets. But we'll want to go get our last few recruits, get them geared up. We should have plenty of ammunition for the initial run, and then it's going to be building up our resources while the Holy Nation is coming to attack us and bombard us. One of the things that I think will work in our favor fighting here, when we look at our base, I did build out a ton of turrets here that can all shoot at people as they come through here, and I'm hoping that we'll have enough time to unload on them before they really push into the base. We'll just see how it works out. They're going to outnumber us, almost certainly. That's the thing that sucks about having this party limit that the game has naturally. They're going to outnumber us. So we're going to run into issues with that where we are having real trouble dealing with them because our crossbowmen aren't going to be using crossbows. They're going to be fighting in melee. So that lack of skill that they're going to have is going to show a lot more, because their damage that they do will be way less, and they won't be able to just hit like they would when we're using the crossbows. So we're going to leverage the harpoon turrets and hope that's enough. We're just going to line up, use these as soon as they actually get to the base, and kind of go from there. The turrets are obviously very effective. They're even removing limbs from people as they come in. Speaking of turret guards, always check your turret guards, make sure they're eating. What are their skills at with turrets right now? So they're 50s, 40s, all the way down to 30 for Fumin. So they're nothing up too high. Cat seems to have plenty of fabric. I think we want... maybe we'll have Inu keep the fabric full. No, that's going to be too much. That's going to be too much. We'll just have Cat do it. So whenever she runs out of material, she can go use this. Come on, Armor King, I need you to magically restock sooner. That would be great. If you could do that for me. No such luck. It's not going to be long now, though. I might, even after I end the stream, let this run, get our armor crafter going, and just get the purchasing done. I mean, it's not the most entertaining thing. There's no big secret here. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just trying to kind of show everything we do, but this is kind of the downside. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of time where you need to sit and wait because it's just so time consuming to come out here. It's not worth it to leave. We were doing that before. We were running, grabbing the beak thing eggs, but it's really not feeling like it's worth it to leave. There's so much food on us. We're already here. We've got the pack animals to help carry everything back. We may as well just wait patiently. And he is just going to talk smack the entire time. Make sure we know. So there's a Hiver chain shirt that is masterwork. The dexterity effect and combat speed's pretty bad, but it's going to protect his chest. Beep's chest is just very weak. We're going to go ahead and sell that. We'll use the Hiver chain shirt for Beep. I'm just hoping that we end up having enough money for what we're wanting to buy. If we're a little short, that's going to stink. If we are, though, we'll just make another quick run, and then I'll send just Beep up here with a few backpacks. In fact, that's what we could do now. We could get everyone home. I'll see if I need to do another run. There's no point in just sitting here. The more I think about it, it is better to just get home. Because then we can have most of the people back to doing their jobs, too. We don't want to run out of material, things like iron. We're going to need a lot more iron and a lot more steel if we're going to be doing that heavy armor production. Speaking of, I didn't build the wrong armor smithy, did I? That would stink. Heavy armor smithy. There is no multiple levels to it, so we're good. Okay. That's all I was concerned about. All of a sudden I thought, well, what if there's levels to that? I don't think there is, but you just have your cloth, your leather, and then heavy armor station. Even if we had, though, I'd just tear it down and put in a new one, but I'd like to have that laid out and ready to go. Kat should make some pretty good progress. Like, she's already at 21. She's going to be able... Wow, she's going to be able to make us stuff really quickly, actually. Should have done that a long time ago. Now I got to go look at, do I want to have a crossbow smith? Do we have anyone else that's a Scorchlander? I think she's our only Scorchlander. Because we were trying to recruit Shek and then humans for the farming. Just take advantage of what they're naturally good at. So we need one Scorchlander, and the rest probably could be Shek. It probably would be good. Just to have that toughness advantage. So now the question is what route to take home. It's gonna be a little sketchy no matter what, but I think we're better off going through Obedience and the Fog than starting the war with the Holy Nation early. I'd like to get allied with the Shek first, because then, especially being so close to Squin, we might actually have allies when the big battles come up. We're going to want to micromanage a little more too when the big fights come up, because we should have some people we can capture for bounties, and while the money's not that big of a deal, I still like turning those people over to the Shek and generally building that up. It's crazy to me we were able to get the full set of crab armor, including the shoes. I know I'm literally not even using heavy armor boots right now, but if I had thought that that particular pattern was going to be there and so easily accessible, I probably would have done that sooner. And I didn't realize how quickly her skill was going to come up. I guess I'm not too worried about waiting for her skill to be perfect before I switch her over to actually making us armor. Just because it's not going to be that big of a deal. We're going to be able to wear high grade masterwork or specialist. It doesn't really need to be all masterwork or all specialist. Oh, there's a ruin here. We could investigate that. We're just kind of heading home for the sake of heading home. Where is... It's an ancient lab? Where is it? Don't see... Oh, there it is. That we could be risking some limbs. But we're already here. This could be an opportunity to get some AI cores. Gotta love having Griffin ready to go. Let's lure them out and actually take an advantageous fight. Is Beep able to go in through there? No, he comes over here. So we'll take everybody but the animals over here. And we'll just spread everyone out. That way we get some good clean shots. I really am okay with kind of pre-gaming any fights that we know are going to be dangerous like this. And then Jag, we'll scoot you over just a little more. Beep. Beep, when you come out, we'll probably put you right there. So we'll put everyone on hold. Why is Beep on passive? That's interesting. Didn't realize he was. So now we can have everyone attacking here. Except you two, darn it. You two need to stay back. We should be able to bring this thing down before it hurts anyone too bad. Yeah, that wasn't a problem. We'll have Chomper come over here. We'll take these supplies, why not? I don't think we'll need it for anything in particular, but it doesn't hurt. We don't want to get piled up too much to where we get trapped. We don't want people getting trapped. And we'll have you two stay way far away. Beep, you can come back and help though. And we'll unload them onto the Garu later. No, my goodness. It will be nice to not have animals joining us, I gotta be honest. That way, we can just move everyone around without worrying about it. All this is food nonsense. Let's come up here. Oh my goodness, the animals, the humanity of the animals. Everyone except you, right there. You two need to go out. Zim, where are you? Come on up, buddy. I'm never gonna stop bringing the dang animals in, alright, am I? Oh, goodness. It's everybody outside. Let's take everyone off hold so they'll patch the animals. Put the animals back on hold and over here. Maybe stop screwing this up. Just maybe. Beep, is there anything in these? No. Let's check with the materials trader if he's got any armor plating. It wouldn't be bad to stack up on that early. Nope, just iron. Nothing we really need. That's okay though, it's worth checking. Close the gate. Grab everyone except the animals. Proceed upstairs. It looks like we cleared out all the spiders though, which is good. Griffin, you're the one that's going to be able to do all this, so we may as well move you around. Okay, now that it's safe, we'll have Chomper come up here. I want Griffin pick you up. That way we can easily transfer all this stuff to you. Not a lot of great loot. Really not. Some ancient science books isn't nothing though. Ooh, that's a big, heavy duty safe. We can barely even crack that thing open. Oh, well, he's doing that. Beep, why don't you see what's in the rest of these things? Turn for tribute. That's what we're trying to get rid of by taking care of the Bugmaster. If it doesn't work, we'll probably just take out all of those guys and overthrow the Shek Kingdom too. Not really about that whole subservient lifestyle, you know what I mean? We would like to be in charge of ourselves, not bowing down to anybody. Take the tools. The med kits are nice. I haven't been grabbing the random splint kits, but we can grab those. Picked those already. There was some armor plating in there. Where was it? This one. Take that. So no AI cores, nothing super fancy. You'd think I'd learn the layout of my base by now, that I wouldn't get confused which way I gotta go to the gate. Run, boy, run. I'm going to turn everybody's jobs off, make sure they eat if they need to. Turn the jobs back on, close the gate. Alright, so Nothing super crazy here, but we did snag some ancient science books. That's nice. We'll put Chomper down. And we'll keep heading home. We got everybody out of there. So we picked up some medical supplies. We picked up some expensive components we can sell. And we picked up some ancient science books, which are going to help us keep going on our research. Honestly, by the time you get all the research done, you're generally able to conquer the dang world, so I'm not sure we need a whole lot more, other than just for completionist's sake. Chomper, why are you falling behind? You need to stay with us, buddy. I don't want to leave here anywhere near a Holy Nation base. So we're going to go this way. Do we still have everybody? Yeah. Good. I don't want to leave over there. We're so close to starting a war with them, but we don't want to do it early. We want to do it on our terms when we at least imagine ourselves ready. Whether we're delusional or not, we'll have to find out. Why are they going that way? Oh, to circle back around. Okay. We are running into some Fogmen, but they're going to be a total joke for us to deal with. They're just too weak. Speed this up. We're not trying to pick a fight with every Fogman group we run into. That just takes up time, and they just keep coming. They're great practice and training, but with the animals here specifically, it poses a problem and a threat. We could randomly lose a lot of material. It's not worth it. We'll probably come here just to see if we can clear out a bunch of them and do some training. You know, they would kind of think of it as Beep would want to get rid of these Fogmen that just keep attacking him every time he runs through here. Make Mongrel a little safer, his first hometown. We'll head home. Can we go ahead and queue up heading all the way home? That's the question. That would be nice. Now that we pushed our way through the fog, oh, you hungry bandits want to fight? Let's see if we can outrun them. We're all cruising pretty good. We don't even need to deal with you. Literally not even worth it. We're just going to run all the way home. When we get there, we're going to have a lot of product we could sell. But we just don't need to. We need so few pieces of armor. How's Cat doing? Cat is aimless. Ah, she got stuck outside the door. You want to check on your people every now and then. You never know when they're just outside the gate by accident. And that random Czech person was beating on our door. But what are your stats at? Armor smithing's already at 35. So we're going to be able to make the rest of the armor we need before too long. I think we'll probably stick to purchasing, but at least just till we get our samurai armor filled out for our recruits. But once we're done with the Bugmaster, we might do some serious farming. Oh boy. Okay, so we've got beak things. It's not a big deal. Just need to get the animals out somewhere safe while we fight them. It wouldn't hurt to spread everyone out a little bit. We don't want to spread out too far because we know our crossbow is pretty short range. And then we're going to focus down the beak things is how we're going to take this out. No, you guys stay out of it. Everybody but you needs to be focusing down this beak thing. So the downside of spreading out is that our crossbows are less effective right off the bat, but we did take a lot less damage than we would have if we stayed grouped up. Let's go ahead, group up a little bit. There we go. Just so we're not shooting from longer distances. But we're able to handle beak things pretty well. It's not a big problem for us. Bombingham's still taking a beating. This guy, he's got a high-grade chest. Ooh, animals, you need to move. He's pretty banged up. We'll have Beat pick him up. Beep, are you gonna repair yourself? Not sure why he wasn't doing that already. Let's get out of Venge, though. We're kind of done with this area. We're not even gonna stick around to loot them. We're just gonna head back. Ooh, that autosave spooked me a little. I thought we were crashing. Almost made it home, and I thought we were crashing. But yeah, with Cat making so much progress in like one little piece of one stream. Oh, I could have had an armor smith this whole time. I think I get in my head because I'll try to wait till they're at 90 or 100. I get in my head about how long it's going to take because I'll do it at the start to where I can't go do anything else while I'm waiting. And it just makes it seem like it takes longer than it does. That's one thing I've learned about this game. Do your grinding in the background. Find ways to keep your team busy. Do not just sit around grinding. That's the least fun you can have in this game. We're probably going to want to make more beds soon, though. That's another thing that couldn't hurt. Gary, Chomper, you guys need to go. over to the barracks so we can unload the armor at least. And we haven't made Beep a skeleton bed yet. I need to fix that. Oh, come on now. And then we'll just put the helmets in the next row, or the next armor container, excuse me. Jeez, come on now. The sandals can stay there, that's fine. That's probably where she was putting them before we built her some storage. We'll unload the science stuff. And we'll move the hemp over here. Way ahead on hemp production, my goodness. And then Chomper, he's got food, which we can just leave on him because that's nice to have. Some electrical components. No, what is this? Sorting. No, what is this sorting? That's so bad. I wanted all the ammo at the top. But this is basically all stuff to sell. That's funny. How are we doing on iron plates? Fully stacked. Okay. Then Beep, come take a look in here. Chomper, we want you to unload that little bit of plate metal. And then this is actually a great place to stop. We're right at 11. That's when I normally like to stop it. We've got plenty of money, food. We've got lots of product being made so that we can sell. We got sandals for everybody who wants sandals. Let's get everybody some sandals on. That seems good, right? Everybody should have shoes. Can't be walking around shoeless out here. Zill is our other hiver, so he's not gonna... That's why he's getting his teeth kicked in. He's actually got a weaker chest. So we need to get Zill... We should have held on to that other hiver shirt. We need to get Zill a hiver shirt. They for sure need them. Is anyone else missing shoes? Nope. Okay, we got plenty of shoes. Now the next thing is going to be disposing of those shoes, because we're not going to need them. We're not going to want to waste the time selling them. We want... Is it interior? Shelf, prisoner cage. I might have to research. Oh, wow. Skeleton repair bed. Not too worried about power. We're so overkilled on power. A big furnace. That's something we want. Weapon melting. Splints. We'll learn chain armor crafting in case we decide to do it. The hybrid stone mine. That's the one that just puts out building materials. That's pretty sweet. The next level of iron plates is probably important. Fully automatic ore drill. Oh man. So we need another AI core for that. We'll learn baking. We're not worried about generators yet. We may end up needing those, but we're not worried about it right now. Yep, see, Kang, you gotta eat. Everybody take a food break. The gate is fine. Gotta make sure they eat. They'll run themselves ragged. I wish there was a job to grab food. That no matter what they're doing, if they start to go into like starving status, they'll stop and go grab food. I would really like that. Because it doesn't make sense. They're not going to stay up there starving to death when there's not actually a threat. Like, what are they aiming at? What are they trying to shoot? This guy? Shoot it. Hey, what are you waiting for? Just shoot him. Start blasting. Is it this guy? I can open the gate so you can shoot him. Can you shoot him now? No? Okay. Maybe we want one more turret guard? Who's just sitting around engineering? Oren, we're gonna run out of engineers, but we're gonna have you man this turret. That way you can finish off anybody that gets through. That just makes sense. And then it should be under smithing now. Or crafting. Item furnace. That is an outdoor only thing, I bet. Yep. But this is a good place to wrap up. I'm going to grab some lunch and then we'll be back this afternoon. We will try and finish up either our armor purchases or even just crafting some armor if it comes down to that. But we're looking at probably getting our recruits this afternoon and then moving on to take out the Bugmaster. I honestly have no idea how that's going to go. I've never tried to accomplish this with inexperienced people in the group and with such a small group. So it's a little bit of a gamble. We'll have to fight our way to him and see how we're doing. And if we're really badly beat up, we may beat a retreat. But we'll find out. We'll figure out what we're going to do. I will catch you guys this afternoon. This was casual. We're just doing our basically no mod playthrough. Doing it by the books. The only thing we've changed is how pretty the UI is and what the map looks like. And we're having a good time so far. A few setbacks, but we're making it.